Hi viewers! I thought I'd cover this subject from a veteran stacker's perspective. Now you can tell I'm a veteran stacker because of these two items here. Because I'm sure a lot of you watching today won't even remember Silverfish VT. But of course you might know Salivate Metal because he is still going. But do you remember the silver cards? Anyway. So I thought I'd cover this perspective from my point of view, and that may not be everyone's point of view, of course, because I know a lot of you just say buy, and just keep holding, waiting for the an economic collapse or something like that. But the answer, in my opinion, is quite simply it depends on what silver and gold is. Now I can explain that quite simply, really. You know, for something a plain bullion like that Krugerrand or probably that Britannia, yeah, it's a Queenie half-ounce Britannia. Now, obviously, you want to just sit on them really until either the price is massively up, or until you need to liquidate them for whatever reason. You know, some crisis crops up and you haven't got enough savings to cover it, or you want to leave them to your family. But what she'll do with mine, I don't know. She'll probably pawn a lot. Anyway, now, so moving on to the things that you need to kind of look at a time slot to liquidate are things like this, and I've probably missed my time slot on this Proof ASE, and I'll be solely relying on spot price to get my money back on that, because for those of you who've been following me for years will remember that I used to buy these Proof ASEs at my LCS. It didn't matter what year, they were in the old clamshell cases. That's for the same price as a bullion ASE. As far as he was concerned, it was all bullion, sold as bullion, didn't matter. And of course, a lot of them I traded with you guys in the States, because obviously I was getting them much cheaper than you could get over there, which is fine, you know. Helping each other out, that's what I've been doing for the past 11 years, helping out the community by you know, making these slides so you can check your silver is real. And anyway, and the same goes for gold. It depends what type of gold. You know, the Britannia is just a bullion device, and the sovereigns likewise, other than you know, there will be certain pieces like shieldbacks or rare dates or rare monarchs that will be, you know, more sought after. I think the Edward VII, especially in nice shape, fetch a bit more of a premium, but it's not a massive amount, unlike the special dates. Now, some of you may remember that I think a couple years ago I sold a 2-coin Mexican set that I bought in 2015. Proof and reverse proof set, first year of issue, $200 at the time, which I thought was absolutely insane, but I really liked it, so I bought it, and then a couple years ago sold it for $450. Now you think, you know, some of you maybe think, oh, you've done really well on that, but bearing in mind that took 7 years to go up to that value, and you've got to take shipping either way into account. But, you know, I'd probably come out with, you know, $180 profit on that. But when you split that over 7 years, it's not massive. You know, it's probably kept up with inflation. I don't know. I haven't done the figures. I'm not a mathematician, but you know, even if it hasn't, it has preserved a bit of my wealth. And again, I think it was last year, I sold 4 silver bars. I bought these 4 1-ounce silver bars at my LCS, probably around the same time. £15 an ounce, so it was 60 quid. and sold them last year for $350, which is probably, I don't know, it's under £300, but you know, a nice turn of profit. So the whole point I'm getting to is that some of your silver and some of your gold, depending on what you've bought, of course, will have a collectability value, and that collectability value can sometimes carry on up, or it can reach a peak and then interest dives, which is why I used to be able to get those at my LCS for the same price as a bullion coin, because people here presumably weren't interested in them. You know, there's just so many different silver and gold coins that can become collectible. I'm not sure how the F15 Privy Kangaroo is doing. I haven't looked at it, but I think this was a trade some years ago with maybe Silver Siren, I can't remember. It was a long time ago. Well, it was 2014, so I don't know. I don't even know where it came from. Can't remember. Long time ago. That's well, yeah, well, that's 10 years, isn't it? But you know, there are certain things that you know, will have a collectability value, as I've covered in previous videos regarding hallmark silver. You know, vintage and antique silver. There are certain maker's marks or mint marks that are highly sought after, and you know, if you can buy that by its weight, and then of course you discover that it's you know, a sought after piece, you're going to do all right on that piece. Now, I've seen a lot of channels lately who have literally just got into buying gold. You know, bearing in mind it's at its highest it's ever been in history. And you know, for those of us that have been stacking a long time, that's not really that important to us. But you know, like Salivate Metal and myself will have seen over the years, many channels, especially with silver, got burnt. You know, they bought it at a high and thought, oh, this is a crap game, got to get out of this, sold it at a massive loss. And then, of course, a few years down the line, silver's back up again and even higher than they bought it for in the first place. So had they just sat on it, you know, they'd have done well. So there is, you know, with something that's pure bullion and no collector value, you know, you will solely rely on the market price. Whereas the more collectible things will have a peak or a continued peak. The Mexican 2-coin set, I reckon, you know, has got its peak, but it'll carry on up slightly. It's a good way of doing a graph, isn't it, with your finger? I think they'll carry on up, because I think there was only 500 sets minted. Now, talking of 500, one of the sovereigns I have, which isn't here, it's a half sovereign from 2015. Now, the mintage number of that sovereign is 500, but when I've looked for them for sale, they've not had a collector premium, which really surprises me. And I'm wondering if a few people are snagging them up cheap, thinking it's just a sovereign, and they haven't actually looked up the mintage numbers. The full sovereign had a much higher, but the half sovereign only had 500, or from what I can find out from the data. So anyway, I hope I've shared some useful information with you, and you know, like I said, keep calm, and like it says on my mug, keep calm and keep stacking that silver and gold. Right, catch you all on the next one. Bye.